Hey guys, I'm Ryan, right? I just came back from watching Fantastic Four 2015, and let me tell you, it was one hell of a movie. I loved this film. No, it's pretty bad. It's a bad movie. Fantastic Four, more like anticlimactic Four. That could have been better. I read up on so many reviews of this film. I watched plenty of critics on YouTube. This is the first film in a while where it feels like everyone is in unison with their feelings. Rather than trying to just explain the plot to you, here's what IMDb has to say. 4 young outsiders teleport to an alternate and dangerous universe, which alters their physical form in shocking ways. The 4 must learn to harness their new abilities and work together to save Earth from a former friend turned enemy. That is pretty much the whole movie right there. For starters, this film tries way too hard to try to set up some world. It starts off like this is gonna be a character-driven science fiction piece. Then it ultimately lands nowhere. It goes nowhere. This film is just tonally off. Like everyone's saying, this film takes itself way too seriously. Like, get a fucking sense of humor. A lot of people are comparing this to Batman and Robin, and a lot of people are saying this is worse than that. Because at least Batman and Robin was campy fun. This film has no personality. Like Jai Courtney. No personality. Don't like that actor. Just figured I'd take another Jai Courtney stab. It's not fun at all, which is a real disappointment because you got a great cast assembled. Miles Teller as Reed Richards, Jamie Bell as Ben Grimm, Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm, Kate Mara as Sue Storm. That's a fucking awesome cast. The number one complaint I'm hearing, and I totally agree with it, we could have gotten more from Kate Mara and Michael B. Jordan's relationship. They established that Kate Mara was adopted, yet she's the one close with Daddy Storm. But Franklin Storm's biological son, the black member of the new Fantastic Four, Michael B. Jordan, but he's straying away from family business, trying to be like Vin Diesel and Fast and Furious instead. So there's a lot to explore there, but no, they don't even try. Then you got Reed Richards, who is a teenager. Let me just start off by saying this film starts off in 2007, but I swear they portrayed it as if they were in 1953. Then it cuts to 7 years later, and Reed Richards must have like aged by like 15 years. Anyway, you got Reed Richards, who is a teenager, way too intellectual for his age, who may have finally found where he belongs, which might create some conflict with him and Jamie Bell's character, Ben Grimm, which starts off as a strong, dynamic relationship with Reed Richards as his best friend. Yet Ben's family life is not going so well, but his real family is Reed Richards, and yeah, they like lightly touch on that in the most cliche expositional ways ever. They eventually introduce Victor Von Doom, who I guess is a rebel. He already has a jealousy towards Reed Richards. So yeah, this film had me going, maybe it's just misunderstood, because I like where this is going at first. Like, Dr. Franklin Storm has the most generic, cliche speeches ever. But I'm willing to forgive that only because it's a part of his character. Like, the other characters are always like, here he goes with another speech. So because of that, actually making him a part of the character doesn't bother me as much, but a lot of it is very expositional and very cheesy. Like, this story starts off as the first time these 4 come together. They're telling an origin story. So they start off by working on a major science project, which will land them into some other dimension, where they take back something with them, some type of energy infection thing, which gives them the superpowers that we will come to know as the Fantastic Four. That would have been a good movie. That doesn't happen till like close to an hour in this film. The first hour of this film is them working on this science project. And there's like barely any obstacles they gotta overcome. Everything goes smoothly, kind of according to plan all the time. All the way up until they complete it, but that's about like an hour of the film. With no action, nothing really at high stakes here. It gets boring pretty early on. Then when they get into the other dimension, it's cool. I thought it was a little intense. Then all of a sudden, man, these time lapses in this film are so horrible, it really adds to the disappointment of this movie. Like, we spend close to an hour waiting for them to get their damn superpowers, because that's what the fuck we came there to see. I'm all for character, but Come on, throw in some comic book flair. And it's not even good character. They finally get infected. It goes into a scene that felt like a science fiction thriller. Then I was like, oh, it's a build-up film. This is where it's about to get good. I understand why we waited that whole fucking hour for them to get the powers. Then no, it already cut to 3 weeks later. 5 minutes later, it's cutting to a year later. They're telling us an origin tale, and they don't show you a lot of the good things. One of the best parts of an origin tale is when they fucking get their powers, and they start to use their powers, and they develop and advance and all that. Yeah, that's all canned. It just cuts to a year later, where it becomes a completely different movie. Like, completely different. It's like 2 completely separate films. Where in the second film of it, they tried jam-packing so much crap that it lost all sense of character, all sense of tone, thrills, and action. There's like close to 0 action in this film. And the Thing doesn't wear pants in this movie. He doesn't have a penis. It's kind of distracting. And the visual effects and CGI is not good. I mean, people can argue about whether the practical effect one and the one that came out earlier with, you know, Chris Evans and shit. You know, the one with like Michael Chiklis as the Thing. One could argue that this one looks better, but to me I was like, it doesn't really look that good. A lot of the effects just aren't that good. I get it if it was like some low budget sci-fi flick, but dude, this is from the studio that brought us the X-Men franchise. We know you can do better. The last act is where I hated this film. It becomes the definition of lazy filmmaking, like all around, from the actors to the writer, director, everything, you know? I heard Josh Trank was an asshole about the whole thing. I ain't blaming you, Josh Trank. Something kind of tells me that it was a cross between an indie filmmaker really wanting to make his own artistic type of film with studios stepping in and kind of changing things. That's the vibe I get from all the shit I've been reading about. But at the end of the day, it's still a shitty film. Like that finale, from the dialogue to the forced themes and heroic speech, that just none of the gravity of the situation is felt. And what a stupid fucking, it's a stupid ending. You can tell Miles Teller was doing a good job, but then the last half of this film, you're like, holy shit. He doesn't care to do a good job anymore. And when we finally get Doom, holy crap. Did they try rushing that in there all of a sudden and making it like a villain? I'm like, dude, what? I'm like, Doom just showed up. And now we're in the finale. Like, trust me, it's not a spoiler. The whole synopsis of everything you've been reading is the entire movie. And yeah, the mask on him was pretty fucking terrible. Couldn't even give him a mouth. Really? How is he supposed to suck cock? This was like watching a bad 90s film. Not even a fun bad 90s film, just a bad 90s film. You don't care about the characters, the film is uneven, takes itself way too seriously, literally has no personality. No thrills, close to 0 action. And the shitty thing is there's plenty of great potential, but a lot, mainly just missed opportunities. And the last act was probably one of the worst comic book movie finales I've ever seen. I mean, it's pretty apparent how I feel about the film, but people can't seem to understand a review unless there's a rating system. Haven't yet established one, so I'm just gonna make up another one. I would not eat out the Fantastic Four's pussy. Maybe Sue Storm. But the other ones, no. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, you can subscribe to The Real Rejects. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Vine, and Periscope. And really, check out our channel. We got trailer reaction reviews. We got random YouTube video reaction discussions. We got movie reviews, spoiler reviews, movie news, vlogs, unboxing videos, short films, sketch. We got a lot of shit on here. But we're mainly just known for reacting, and no one cares about the other stuff.